So it is April 30th today, and I'm Will Adler with Next MV, and you are?
James Settelmeyer, running for Congress, District 2.
Excellent. And where are we today, James?
We are here at a celebration to kind of hear some words of wisdom from Congressman Amadei, the outgoing congressman who actually served the longest serving congressman for Congressional District 2, 15 years.
And we could say the best. We'll just say that right now because he has been the best representative of CD2.
He's been phenomenal. He's always made sure to look at rural and urban issues and try to do its best for Congressional District 2. Never been the show pony wanting to hop in front of the news and worry about stuff. He just wanted to do the work.
You know, I'm fascinated that Mark Amadei has served for 15 years, yet he is not a millionaire yet. But some of these other Congress people have gotten there for like 6 months and they're worth $32 million. So just saying, does the lower of the bank account prove the ethics of the congressman?
Well, I think it was Congressman Amadei referred to it in a speech discussion about Bill Raggio, who kind of indicated if you get rich in politics, you're doing something illegal.
You know, something crooked, illegal, or at least slimy. We could say that. But Mark Amadei still drives the same truck he almost hit me with when I was 12. That is true. And that bike was right in front of his truck. It was my bad, not his, but true story.
Yeah, there you go. No, there are people that shouldn't be. And so that it's up to the citizens of Congressional District 2 to look at the candidates and decide who they want to represent them. I hope they look at what people have done, what they've done in the past, and how long they've been in the area. Because to me, Congressional District 2, you need to have somebody that actually has lived here for quite a while and understands the issues from the Humboldt River to the Truckee River to the Carson River to the natural resource issues to land management aspects, the Bureau of Land Management, land exchanges, and all those type of things that have really helped spur economic development and have helped keep Nevada moving forward.
Well, I would say one of the biggest concerns you should have as a potential congressman is how could you get a Lamborghini down the road that you live on? Because it is a ranch road and it's popped one of my tires. So you should think of that before you run, maybe, is how do you get the Lambo in your actual garage? You might need a whole new house, too.
Well, I have no worries about that because I'll never own a Lamborghini. I was on my salary currently is working on a ranch and a whopping $2,500 a month.
Nice.
You're not going to be driving a Lamborghini.
Yeah, and I think you're not the type to get into the weeds of the swamp of DC either. But on that note is, what is next for Nevada? Yeah, as somebody who's going to be a leader potentially of the state again, what do you think could be next for Nevada? We have a lot of going on now, but really we need the leaders to look to the future too. So, James, what do you think could be next for Nevada?
I think that the Governor Lombardo has done an excellent job on developing the different aspects, even back to the times of Governor Sandoval, when we're looking at the Tahoe Reno Industrial Complex and how that's changed the trajectory for Northern Nevada. I'm very grateful for all the great things that the gaming industry has done for Nevada as a whole, but I think it's great that we're also diversifying that portfolio so that we make sure that we have a more insulated economy for when things go wrong. Of course, I think one of the things that we must look at for the state of Nevada is making sure that we're resilient. And so again, I applaud the efforts of the Fuel Resiliency Task Force, the concepts being put forth of making sure that we tie on to maybe Utah for Northern Nevada. You look at it, the pipelines that were originally built were through the Defense Production Act to make sure that you had fuel out to the Fallon Naval Air Station for defense purposes, for the defense of our nation. And in that respect, with what's going on now currently with California, importing 40-50% of their fuel from Asia, that does not help us. Especially for Northern Nevada and the price of fuel based upon what's going on in the world. So in that respect, I absolutely think we need to figure out how to use the same areas, the same lines that are currently used for natural gas, to look at the idea of getting a petrol line to there. But in the meantime, we need to look at intermodal. We need to look at the concept of putting more fuel cars on trains that can be easily picked off the train, put it on a truck for that last 10, 20, 100 miles of delivery.
Yeah.
So that we can get fuel, because as you know, everything is delivered up here to Northern Nevada by pipeline.
Yes.
And then, of course, it's then put on a truck. And that's reasonable.
Somebody asked me literally, if there's no taxes in Winnemucca and there's no taxes in Ely on fuel, how come fuel costs so much here? Well, because you have to drive the fuel there. That's literally the last mile is the cost of the fuel you're paying, and that's all we pay in rural Nevada, basically.
Well, even in talking to the Trucking Association, they admit that the most inefficient way to move fuel is by a semi-truck. It should be used for the last portion of that trip. You're not going to truck it from Texas to here and think that that's going to be affordable.
No. Yeah. Well, thank you, James. Those are really good takes, and we want to do it again do it in the
forward to-
studio. But thank you for being here, and thank you for emceeing a really good send off for Congressman Amodei. But what's next for Nevada is to be heard. But a lot of hot takes were James Settelmeyer actually already today. So we'll see if that's true, and have a good one. Thank you again.
See you, boss.